Yeah, so I'm super excited. We got a story and permission to read it, and I think we're going to open with that tonight now that we're done with our little housekeeping.
Yes, we are.
Housekeeping. So, this is from listener Cheyenne. Did we get permission to use her name, or do you have to bleep me out
Yes.
now? Okay, good, cool. We
And
got
in
permission to
fact,
use her name.
in fact, Cheyenne is going to be part of our panel next week.
Woo! So we have a rainbow of gayness for next week. That's fan fucking tastic. So this is from Cheyenne, who we will be hearing from in the near future. Let me get my reader voice on. It's a little bit like my customer service voice, but slightly sultrier. I used to be a homophobic, transphobic piece of shit. Then I left my small town of next to no diversity USA and went to a 4-year public university. The cultural whiplash was dizzying, but it didn't take me long to adjust. It was far easier to be kind than to be hateful. I was surrounded by people just being who they were. At first, it was unsettling, but then it became inspiring. It took some time, but today I can tell you that I'm decidedly gender fuck, which just means that I don't really care about my gender. You can use any pronouns you like for me. I enjoy making people think using my gender identity. I don't experience dysphoria, so it costs me little and gains me enjoyment to make people reevaluate their cognitive biases and boxes. I often say, I am but a simple man, when referring to some carnal pleasure I enjoy, or I ain't no lady, if someone implies that I should somehow be softer or less vulgar just because I have a pair of breasts. The look of data processing, error, error on people's faces tickles my mischievous little heart, and hopefully does them a little good in the empathy development department. As for my sexuality, I have very little idea on that front. Definitely not asexual, though. If pressed to place it in a box, I'd put it somewhere around bisexual, but my preferences would be towards masculine and androgynous folks rather than feminine. Not that I'm ruling feminine out entirely, though. But pan just doesn't seem correct. Who knows? Why worry about it? I'll just go on educating people through my own oddness and figure things out as I go. A friendly reminder to all my friends with a solid grasp on an identity that they've bled, sweat, and cried for, you are valid. To everyone still in the closet because you don't feel safe, you are valid. To anyone like me, who's pretty darn esoteric, you are valid. Happy Pride, but be sure to love yourself all year. Cheyenne is the creator of the Llama Me blog, and we will post that in our show notes. Go read that blog. It's some fucking hardcore awesome shit.
It is.
Uh,
And next week, we're going to be having a panel of basically queer and nerd creators. We are focusing on the gaming community because of Cheyenne's blog. It's got a lot of geekiness on it, and I invited her to join the panel.
so that's awesome. I've actually worked with Cheyenne. Cheyenne's a pretty neat person. Um, and the Ren Fair community is one where you can very easily play with identity. And it really helped the shop to have the gender diversity on display. I could tell. Um, just because we had somebody in a pirate shirt and a corset, we had somebody in a skirt and a corset, and then we had me who was very glamour oriented with the very elaborately done makeup and the the tits on a shelf, and they're out there, and just how I am. And then we had the boss and my husband, and so we had all of this different fashion presentation, and the men in the store would talk about how, yeah, we have corsets. If I had one that fit me in the shop, I would be wearing it right now for my back, and it makes me look great and blah. And so Cheyenne was a lovely asset.
That is awesome. Uh,
Yes.